There's no disputing that USD's Chris Nilsson is one of, if not the best pole vaulter in all of college track and field. Yesterday, he took a big step in showing that he's one of the best in the country and world. Competing against professionals in the Drake Relay's Special Invitational Pole Vault, Nilsson clears 19 feet 2 1/4 inches to win the championship. You come for the vaults, but you stay for his celebrations. Now, the runner-up was Olympic bronze medalist Sam Kendricks, marking the first time in 5 meetings that Nilsson had bested the reigning United States track and field national champion.
I don't think it's hit me yet. I think I'll wake up tomorrow and realize that I won or something, because I don't really think I definitely was coming in here thinking I was going to win, because you got Sam Kendricks, world champion, American record holder, all this other stuff, and then Andrew Irwin's out here jumping 580 every single time out, and then you got all these other good guys jumping. So I think it's just kind of like an honor to come out here and then do my best, and then being able to win just like cherry on top.
Nilsson and the Coyotes will conclude the regular season at the Howard Wood Relays next week. That's, of course, where Chris set his own personal record last year when he vaulted 19 feet 2 3/4 inches. After a disappointing 78-84 season in which they were ranked 23rd with just 166 home runs, the Minnesota Twins prioritized adding power to their lineup for 2019. 1 month in, it seems like that was a pretty good investment. With 24 games into the season, they're 4th in the majors with 47 dingers. About half those have come against the lowly Baltimore Orioles, who sent out Dylan Bundy today, and he might as well have been Al Bundy trying to prevent the season sweep. Max Kepler with a leadoff homer in the first. That's his 7th of the year, and Minnesota's up 1-0. One of the only guys in the lineup not to homer this year is Byron Buxton, so naturally he does that. Second Decker makes it 2-0. Now, after all the bombs, the Orioles decided to play their outfield back because of how deep these balls are going, and Marwin Gonzalez burns them with a bloop 2-run single. That makes it 4-0. That's all the scoring the Twins did today, but that's all they needed. Blake Parker comes in to lock things down in the 9th, and Minnesota wins 4-1. They're now 16-9. They will host Houston for the first of 3 tomorrow night. College baseball today, Dakota Wesleyan wrapping up the regular season with a pair at Morningside. Tigers draw first blood in the first when Drew Demers rips a single into left field. That makes it 1-0. A little bit later in the first, some more men on the bases. Chandler Bakley hits a slow grounder to third. It's going to be thrown away, and Dakota Wesleyan will get another run in to make it 2-0. However, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of windy out there today, and it's also windy in Sioux City, and it plays tricks on this baseball hit by Derek Johnson. That's going to end up dropping in to make it 2-1. Mustangs come back to get the victory in Game 1 by a final of 5-4. They're currently scoreless in Game number 2. And a wild one down in Omaha. The Jackrabbit baseball team outlasts the Mavericks 6-4 in 13 innings. We're going to have highlights of this one coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. It's been 5 years since Rapid City native Mark Ellis last played in the major leagues and wrapped up one of the most successful careers by a native South Dakotan. Inducted into the South Dakota Sports Hall of Fame last night, Ellis is one of 39 players from the Rushmore State to ever play in the majors. The former Rapid City hard hat played 13 big league seasons, mostly with Oakland, and was a career .262 hitter. Though his home state has a rich legion and amateur baseball history, it's been difficult of late for players from here to make it to the majors, with just 3 native South Dakotans debuting during the last decade. Ellis dealt with some stereotypes during his career and says that you can't let it deter you.
Never use where you're from as a crutch when you're playing baseball. It doesn't matter. If you can play, you can play. And just go out and enjoy it. And play with all kinds of passion. Play as long as you can. If you have that passion and that desire, it can take you a long ways.
Well, that pretty good advice also applied to the University of Sioux Falls offensive lineman Trey Pipkins as he begins an unlikely professional career in the NFL with the Los Angeles Chargers. With a mom who played basketball at the University of Iowa, Pipkins was more of a basketball prospect himself at Apple Valley, Minnesota, and played mostly tight end when he was 5'11" in high school. Later on in his years, a growth spurt saw him shoot up to 6'7". Sioux Falls liked his potential as an offensive lineman and began the transition to tackle with some simple advice back in 2014, which would end up making him an All-American and third-round NFL draft choice.
It was weird because I'd never played offensive line or anything like that before. And, I mean, as a tight end, I was blocking and things like that. I didn't do a lot of pass blocking, though, as a tight end in high school. My basketball background, that's how they kind of taught me how to pass block. That was first day. They just kind of threw me into the fire, and they were like, just play basketball, stay in front of them. And, I've obviously gotten better with my technique since then, but that's still kind of the mindset.
Pretty cool. Just play basketball and you'll be all right. Pipkins will report to the Chargers on May 10th for the start of their 4-day rookie minicamp. Well, back in Sioux Falls last night, the Storm suffered their second loss of the season to Arizona, 63-50, who completed a season sweep of the Storm. Despite 208 yards passing and 5 touchdowns from Lorenzo Brown, Sioux Falls committed a pair of turnovers, which proved fatal since Arizona scored on nearly every possession they had. Their quarterback, Jeff Zimba, was a near-perfect 15 of 21 for 180 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now the loss all but locks up home field advantage throughout the IFL playoffs for the Rattlers, meaning that if these two play again in the IFL Championship or anywhere in the playoffs, it'll likely be in Phoenix. The Storm will look to bounce back next Saturday at Quad Cities. Bouncing back is just what the Aberdeen Wings did in Game 2 of their Central Division Championship Series with Minot last night, with goals from Nick Sickley, Jonathan Bendorf, and John Sladek, along with 34 saves from Matt Vernon. The Wings beat the Minot Minotauros 3-1 to even the best-of-5 series at 1 game apiece. The series shifts to Minot for Games 3 and 4 next Friday and Saturday. If necessary, a winner-take-all 5th game would be in Aberdeen a week from tomorrow. We'll be right back in 1 moment.